my volume, my audio is coming from somewhere that it shouldn't be coming from, and I don't know why. Hello. I've got to figure out where my extra audio is coming from, because if you notice, my mic is off. That is on, that is off, but yet you guys are still getting audio for some reason. So I'm trying to figure that out. And this makeshift green screen doesn't want to work with me. Thinking that it's coming through the now you guys should be able to hear me fine. Way better. So, how's everybody doing tonight? As you can tell, I'm by myself. Dad ended up having a issue on the way here. I wasn't able to make it. So it's just me tonight. Alright, let's say hello to everybody. So, hello Beth, hello Lydia, hey John, hey Matthew, Cora, Dad. How was everybody's weekend? We had some kind of strong weather here. Can hear myself in my microphone. It's driving me nuts. Alright, so I'm going to see how bad the latency is real quick. Oh, that's pretty good. It looks like I got the latency problem fixed for the most part. Somebody type the number 2 in chat for me. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, latency's really good. Awesome. Alright, well, I got that problem fixed at least. I still got to figure out this freaking green screen problem, but, you know, we're making do for now. So, as you can tell, the image for tonight is, it's not Capi Live. It says The Real Paranormal. With their cool little artwork. Hope you guys like that. It's a little, something that we're doing for podcasts that Capi's been doing. I'm going to get some links for everybody. So we have started our own podcast. There's something completely separate from YouTube. As you know, Capi already has the... My dog is going crazy. Capi has the radio show. Well, what we've been doing is taking those radio shows and putting them onto the podcast that I'm about to give out to everybody. The podcast site. But on top of that, Capi's also going to start doing their own podcast directly for the website for our podcast, The Real Paranormal. It's going to be something separate from the radio show. But for now, it's just going to be, maybe if you weren't able to hear the radio show, you can go to the podcast website and listen to it there. We have it on Spotify. We have it on Amazon Music. It's going to be on, we also have it on RSS.com, but we're working on getting it on Apple and other podcast streaming platforms. But now you can listen to it on Spotify. So here is... There's the public link for the podcast. It's called The Real Paranormal Podcast. And it's just the radio shows for right now. We've got 3 episodes up. You can go listen to it there. And I need just a quick moment. I'm super sorry. Just a quick moment, and I will be right back. But there's that link, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My dog was having an absolute fit, and if I didn't let her out, I was going to be in trouble. Wish I had Spotify. We'll have to wait for Apple. We should have Apple Podcasts going by this week. Hopefully by tomorrow. It's been giving me some problems, but we're working on it. But yeah, so this is it. This is the artwork for it. That link that I just posted in there, the RSS. That's, you can go to there and listen to it. We're gonna have episode 4 and 5 up tomorrow. Should be tomorrow. I don't see any reason why it won't be tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll also be able to say that we have Apple Podcasts going tomorrow. But for now, we've got Spotify, we've got Amazon Music, and we've got that. So, and what I will do is I will also link the Spotify podcast for you. Let me get that pulled up. But it's just going to be talking about the paranormal. That's it. Anything dealing with the paranormal and ghost hunting, and I'm pretty sure they'll at some point get into like conspiracy theories and all that good stuff too. I'm sure. But for now, that's really what we're working with. Alright, so let's get this link going for you guys. Here we go. Here's the Spotify link. It's a long one, but that should take you straight to the Real Paranormal podcast for Spotify. This guy's so much better than the regular looking host. Yeah, I doubt that. No, unfortunately. What's going on with the Capi mech? Capi mech? Or you mean Capi merch? Yeah, so I'm getting to that. So Beth, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, Beth or John, if somebody could drop the Capi website link, please. But you can also go to our Capi YouTube page, and the Capi YouTube page will also, if you go to the About section and you scroll down, you'll see links, and you'll see a link to the podcast. You'll see a link to the Capi webpage, the Facebook page, and the Patreon. Oh, speaking of which, Patreon. So what we're going to start doing is, after this season of the radio show, so this season of the radio show, I think we still have to do 5 more episodes, but then we're going to start back the Patreon and have different levels. And the one Patreon that I know that perk that we talked about is having a few days early access to the podcast. So you'll get to listen to it a couple of days earlier, before anybody else gets to you. And if you have any suggestions for the podcast or what you'd like to listen to or talk about, you can email Beth or John. I'm not really sure who's handling that. Or you can email me. Here, I'll throw my email in here. There you go. Anything that you want to listen to or us talk about or whatever, something that you think would be fascinating, you can just send it to that email, and I'll definitely work on that. We can get that done. But yeah, so we've got the podcast going. We've got the radio show going still. It's every Saturday at 7 p.m. John or Dad, if one of you want to put the time that goes live and the radio station. But yeah, so podcast, radio show, the CapiParanormal.com. It also has a CapiParanormal.com has all of our merch, meet the team, all that good stuff on there. I'm very not put together right now because this was a last minute thing that I had to do this by myself, so I was not prepared in any way. But yeah, if you go to the webpage, it's got a contact us, it's got a meet the team, it's got our Capi store on there. And we're going to be putting the links on there too for the Spotify podcast, Apple podcast, the RSS podcast. Like, we'll have all those links on there as well. But yeah, I think that's everything. It's probably not going to be a real long show tonight. I just wanted to really get on here and talk about the podcast, do a little promo, have the promo as the background here. But if you have any questions or anything, just ask me and I'll answer. See if I can get a bit more in frame with this. How do I... Which way? Go this way? Hey, there we go. That's a little better. Whatever. That's what we're working with. The merch is on hold. The suppliers has gotten behind and they are moving. What's the scariest thing that's happened? So the events and prayer list. I don't do anything with the prayer list. I don't know. So if anybody wants to type that in, please type it in, because I don't know anything about the prayer list at all. That's Dad handles that, and I don't know anything about it. The events, yes. So we have Capi Camp coming up. Let's before that, yeah. Kicks Country 101.5 at 7 p.m. on Saturday is when the radio show goes live. If you can't listen to it on the radio, we're gonna upload it on the podcast. That I linked, the Spotify and the RSS and Amazon Music, so you can go and listen to it there. But yeah, right now, like I said, it's just going to be the radio show uploads, but we're going to be working on doing something outside of the radio show as well. The merch is on hold. The suppliers got behind and they are moving. Okay, so Capi merch is on hold. Okay, so events. Capi Camp, if I'm not mistaken, is this month. It is the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd? No, that can't be right. It's the, I don't know. Somebody that knows. Put it in chat. John or Beth or Lydia or whenever it is. Next month. Okay. September. Gotcha. September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, if I'm not mistaken, is when Capi Camp is. And then Capi Meet and Greet, if somebody wants to put that in chat when Capi Meet and Greet is too, and where that's at. Told you I was very, very unprepared for tonight. Meet and Greet, August 26th, 5 p.m. Cotton's Barbecue in Alabama. Nice. Well, of course in Alabama, but yeah, Cotton's Barbecue, 5 p.m. is the Meet and Greet on August 26th. There we go. So that's this month is the meet and greet. Capi Camp is next month. There was also, so with the Real Paranormal podcast, I want to talk about that again for a quick second. Like I said, the plan is to finish out this first season with the radio show, and then I think we still have a second season to do, but regardless of the second season or not, we are getting our own equipment, so we're going to be getting our own mics, video camera, or I think video camera is going to be way down the road, but right now we're going to do mics, the boom arm, the sound mixer, a better green screen setup, all that good stuff, and do our own podcast. And that'll be, that can be however long as we want, because right now the radio show is only an hour long, but the podcast, we can make it 2, 3 hours, 4 hours if we wanted to, and just talk about whatever we want to talk about. But yeah, Paul M. Griss says when the camp is, which is amazing. Camp Griss is awesome. Always love going there. I want to find, I actually didn't have the, let me find the Amazon link real quick, because I don't have that one just on hand. So let me find that Amazon link real quick. I thought that we had, okay, yeah, so we have Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Podcast Index, and Listen Notes is all active. If I could find the Amazon one, I'll link that as well. I'm pretty unfamiliar with Podcast Index and Listen Notes. I don't really know much about those. I was just really trying to get it out there as, to as many as we could. Let's see here if I can find. Here it is. Here's the link to the Amazon podcast. Thank you, Beth. You got it the same time I did. And then obviously you've got Samsung Podcast. But yeah, any of these you can just go to. You can go to Amazon, you can go to Spotify, you can go to Samsung, you can go to, if you use Listen Notes or Podcast Index, just go there and you're just going to type in Capi, the Real Paranormal, and it should pull up the podcast. And right now we've got 3 hours worth of listening on there. Gonna have 4, 5 hours, 6 hours 6 hours actually here this coming week. So 6 hours worth of podcast to listen to, which is pretty awesome. So other than that, other than Capi Camp, other than the meet and greet and the podcast, I think that's everything. The podcast, meet and greet, Capi Camp. We talked about the radio station. Yeah, that's covering everything. I'm very not good at this by myself in front of a camera alone. Now, if I was playing a video game, if I got on here and did like a Capi horror video game live stream, oh man, I'd be right in my element. But doing this, looking at chat and just trying to talk into the void is not my thing at all. It's so much easier when you have somebody sitting beside you and you can bounce off of. But I think we covered everything. We got all the links to the podcast. We talked about the Cap Camp and the meet and greet and the radio show. I'm going to be putting all those links, or Beth or John or somebody's going to be putting all those links onto the Capi Facebook page, and we'll get them all uploaded to the Capi YouTube page on the About Me, and we'll also get them on the Capi web page. But as of right now, I think the easiest one to do would be to just go to the Facebook page, because I'll have those up tonight, or use the links that I put there in chat already. So we should probably also think about, now that I'm sitting here talking about this, we should probably also think about getting a YouTube Instagram, or like, I mean, not a YouTube Instagram, like a podcast Instagram or a podcast Twitter or something, to make it easier to just put all these links out by like all in one thing. Maybe we'll do like a Facebook post and put all of the links on there and just like pin it to the top of the Facebook. But I know a lot of people don't use Facebook these days. People are starting to move away from that, more towards like Threads or Instagram. So that'll be something we need to look into. You need to play Phasmophobia. That will be hilarious. Oh, I have played Phasmophobia, and I would absolutely play that. We should do like a Capi live stream for horror games or something. I know Dad says that stuff's cliche, doing horror stuff on a paranormal page, but whatever. It's in the same category. I think it'd be fun. Do like get me and Dakota playing a horror game one Sunday live. That'd be pretty cool. You're a natural. You're doing awesome. Aw, thanks. Well, I think that's going to do it. I just wanted to get on here real quick so we would at least have a Capi live and promote everything. I'm going to let that be it so my anxiety can calm down. But check out the Facebook page, and we'll get the Capi webpage going. We'll get the YouTube page going. We'll get these links out on everywhere that they need to be. It's been a process. I had to fight with Spotify to get our podcast on there this week, so I took a couple of days break from doing all this, but I'll be back on it tomorrow and get all that done. I'll get the Facebook links, rather, the podcast Facebook links done tonight, but everything else will be done during this week, and I'll work on Apple as well. Okay, I think that's it. I've talked and talked, so I will wish everybody a good night, and we will see you next Sunday, back with Dad, back with Johnny, not by myself, ever again. But I will see everybody, or talk to everybody during the week on social media, and we'll see you back here Sunday, 9 p.m. Goodbye.